Okay, what's up everybody? Welcome to the second part of our Dwarf Fortress series. So we're going to hit the tab button to get that little map cleared out and get it cleared out right there. There we go. So as you can see in this area right here, if you're not familiar, Dwarf Fortress is a top-down view. So we're looking at this from above. And there's a river going right there. You can see all of our dwarfs right here in the middle. You can see all of our items and our animals. The 7 in the water, that means that's a pond that has a depth of 7 levels. Come on, Kiki. Sorry, my cat was about to lay on my mouse. Um, but yeah, so this is Dwarf Fortress. If you ever want to look at something, hit the K button, and that'll make, you can see right here in the middle where my mouse is circling this, the K will identify what that is. So we're going to move to this bush. You can see where it's P plants and P leaves. So you can have your dwarfs gather that. Here's some dense arrow bamboo. These little round brown things are like, this is an apple tree trunk, this is a cherry tree trunk, this is a walnut tree. So there's just tons of stuff around here. This game is really deep. But we're going to hit escape to get out of that option, and we're going to go over to the D for designations. Actually, one of the first things you need to do is, since you pulled up Dwarf Fortress or Dwarf Therapist, you need to connect to Dwarf Fortress, and now it's going to connect, and this is going to show us all our different dwarfs, and we're going to go in here and name them because that's the easiest way to remember them. This dwarf is the I think that's our, yeah. So this, you can see the little hammer. This is our Mason dwarf. So we're going to go over in here and set a nickname to Mason. Pretty original, but it's the easiest way to keep track of what's going on. So that's Mason, and this is a oh, here's the trader. So this is going to be the little manager. If we can get the screen, there we go. I always like to make myself the manager of the fort. It's always fun to imagine that. Here's our miner, so we're going to set this nickname to Miner. Minder. Let's change that one to Miner. And you go over here to this little area right here to apply the changes. And so that's going to apply the changes within the game. We're going to go over here, set this to Chief Dwarf. Change it to Doctor right there. And then this is our, I'm pretty sure this is our farmer, yeah. Apply that change. And then let's set this is our other miner. You can tell by that little pickaxe. And then, oh, this is our spear dwarf. Yeah, that's what it is. So we're going to name this Militia Captain. And then apply that changes. And then all of our dwarfs are going to have the name within the actual game itself. Alright, so now we're going to go over to hit the D button on the top right, top right, and it's going to be designations, and we're going to hit the D button again to mine. Now you're going to see the mouse moving around the screen. We're going to get a little close to the water, so I think we may kind of dig over in here. You're going to dig just a 3x3 square. Actually, no, I think it's going to be, we need to build a, it needs to be the, I think it's I, the up downstairs. No. It's J. There we go. There we go. Alright, so they're going to build a downstairs into the next level. So we're going to hit the escape button, hit the pause button to unpause it, and then our two miners are going to run over there, and you can see them digging that out. Now, hit the pause button, hit the spacebar button to pause it, and what we're going to do is you can hit the shift button and hit the down arrow. Actually, what is, or control? There we go. So you can hit the shift button and hit the little bracket right next to the question mark, and whenever you do that, that's going to shift down a level. So as these dwarfs clear it out, you're going to see where that spot gets cleared out. So we're going to hit D for, again, designations. We're going to hit an I for up, down, stairs. And they're going to dig that out, and you're going to see it's going to go down a level. And we're going to do this for a couple more levels. And we're going to hit the shift and the bracket button to go down a few more levels. That way they're going to build it all right there. And we can actually watch them build it as it goes. So they come in there, they're mining that out right there. And once we get to rock, let's see. We're still in like kind of loam area. Alright, I think we're hitting our rock area finally. You can see all those little minerals popping up. We're in sandstone right now. Right, let's go down a couple more levels. Oops. There we go. So now that we hit the rock, we're going to go down a couple more levels, and then this last level, we're kind of going to, ooh, tetrahedrite. I think that's copper, or no, I think that's iron. That's pretty good right there. Pretty sure that's iron. Yeah, this is definitely one of those games where you need a little bit of a cheat sheet over there for you. It definitely helps having it. Get this cleared out. But yeah, this game is it's a ton of fun. I love it. A lot of fun to play. And I think that's our last little level. So we're going to go back to D for designate. Actually, let's go back up top real quick while it's paused. Now, we did not bring a wood person with us. So we're going to go over to our militia captain, and we're going to go over to woodcutting. See right here? And you're going to go down to the square, click woodcutting. And what we're going to do is we're going to have our militia captain. We're going to basically anoint him, hey, you're our woodcutter now. So we're going to apply that change right there. So that little square means he's a woodcutter. He's not a good one. He doesn't have a lot of practice. You can see where the darker the square is, the smaller it is, or the bigger it is. That's how good they are at it. So basically, it would be like if somebody just, I would imagine a lot of us out there are not woodcutters. So if somebody said, hey, you're a woodcutter now, so you get out there, and as you cut more wood, you become better at it. So he's our woodcutter now. And so the reason for that is because we go to D for designation, and we're going to go over to, we're already on it right now, we're going to go to, where is it? T to chop down trees. If we designated some trees to be cut down and there was nobody that had the labor of wood cutting, then no, it wouldn't get done because like all the dwarfs would be like, I've never been told to do this. So since we've appointed him the woodcutter, we're going to go over here, hit the enter button, and you can see where it's flashing on that little square. We're going to go down and over here and hit the enter button again, and you can see all those little trees are grayed out right there. So we're going to get out of here, and our dwarf cutter is going to go over there and cut that tree down. So you can see him right there. He's cutting that tree, and then as soon as that tree falls down, all that wood pile goes right there. So you want to get the wood up and running, and then we're going to build a little spot for our dwarves to kind of chill out. And we can go in right here. So we're going to go D again for designation. You're going to mine, hit the mine button this time, make a 3 down, kind of dig out right here, and we're going to just build a little temporary housing place for them. And I'm holding the shift button as I tap the arrow button, and what that'll do is that will make like a area of 10. So we've got our miner dwarfs, and as your miners mine, they're going to get better and better at it. So when they first get into the game, they're pretty slow at it, but as the game wears on, they're going to be really good at mining, and they'll carve stuff out really quick. So what we're doing right now is we're building a section out for like a meeting hall to have all of our dwarfs inside, because there are wild animals that are out there. Sometimes there's like giant, I mean, this game's crazy. There's like giant monkeys that'll come steal your axes and stuff if it's up there. So what we're doing right now is just carving out a meeting area for all of our dwarves to hang out, because it's you kind of want to think of the Dwarf Fortress world as like a bad neighborhood. It looks pretty, but it's kind of a bad neighborhood sometimes. And tetrahedrite, I'm gonna look that up on my phone. I'm pretty sure that's I think that's iron, which is that's iron. That's pretty good. And ooh. Yeah, there we go. I'm typing horrible. Google, way to save me, Google. Alright, so tetrahedrite. Okay, it's copper and silver. So that's not too bad. So, but and I think I touched on this earlier. Eventually, see all these rocks that are on the ground. You're going to get your dwarfs to start. You're going to have more. We have 7 dwarfs right now, and you can see that the only job that's being done right now is carving this mine out right now. So we have 5 idlers up here. We have 7 dwarfs. Eventually, we're going to have these waves of dwarves that come in, and we'll have more people to do more jobs. So right now, we're just kind of getting this set up. And then let's go back over to Dwarf Therapist, and we're going to make the militia captain also good at carpentry, because we need to build some beds. So we're going to click carpentry. He has the most experience. He's been cutting wood. It's always fun giving these different dwarves, like, hey, just waving your hand and saying, hey, you're a carpenter now. Okay, so that's going to get carved out. And while they're doing that, and see, there's no really right or wrong way to play Dwarf Fortress. You kind of just play it as you go. But we're going to shift back up, hold the shift button, go back up top. Oh, one thing we can do while they're cutting that out is we're going to go hit the end button. I think that's it. Nope. Hit I for zone. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to hit I, and that's going to create a zone. And what we're going to do is we're going to put all of our animals over here. So we're going to click right here and go down. And you can see this area, this is a zone. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the N button to make it a pen/pasture, and then we're going to hit the Shift N to set the parameters. So we're going to add hit the plus button, actually hit the enter button, yeah, there we go. So you can hit the plus button to go down, enter button, and we're just going to go through and assign all of our animals to this zone right here. And once that clears out, we're going to see all of our idlers stop, and they're going to bring all of those animals over there. So that way, eventually, we're just putting all of our animals closer to the front because eventually we're going to build a wall around it. But it's nice to have them all in one spot. Now, we are going to have to build a bigger zone for our goats and our yaks or our camels if we don't slaughter them. You can slaughter them for food and different stuff like that. But at least we're going to put them in one big zone for right now. And let's see if this bottom part... Okay, it's cleared out. So we're going to... let's actually build a small little workshop area. That's going to be our workshop, and then we can have this be... so we do have a mason and we have a carpenter set up. So we're going to build a workshop. I'll show you how to do that in a second. This is going to be our little meeting hall right now, and then we're also going to set up a... Actually, I'm going to have them carve out a little bit more after that's done, and then we can set up our little storage facility over there. But yeah, so that's kind of all Dwarf Fortress is you're building your little fort, you're getting workshops set up, and then you can turn the items that you're digging out of the earth into something. Like we're actually hitting a lot of minerals and a lot of gems, so you can set up a jeweler's workshop. Eventually, you can use those jewels to encrust like your furniture around the fort. I mean, it's a ton of fun. A lot of fun. Definitely enjoy it. Let's go back up top, see what's going on. Yeah, so once we get this spot digged out, we're going to start building. We're going to have our miners dig a farm area for our farmer to start growing stuff, because that's the next thing you need to do. But it's always just good Dwarf Fortress to get your dwarfs inside. And once that's done, and then when you're building, we're going to go ahead and designate that area. Let's go ahead and build this out right here. So that you need a 3x3. I do 3x3 farm plot, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, and then a couple more for seeds. Oops. And we can always add more if we need to. One way that you can stop them from doing that is we're going to remove the designation right here. That way, that's ready to go. All we have to do is carve that out right there once they're done. But I think they're getting pretty close. Yeah, they're done. So we're going to go D right here. Then we can get our farmer running up and going, getting those farm plots going. And that little, I think this is a tree roots. Yeah, these are apple tree roots from above. So if you see this little great browned out area, that's what that is. Yeah, if you're ever not sure, just hit the K button and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And this is like a loam type area right here that we're building into. All right, sorry, I was reading the text message real quick. Okay, so that's going to get done. And let's go to B for build. No, excuse me. Hit the pause button. I'm trying to remember. It's been a minute since I've played this, so I think we're going to go to W. No. B for building. And then, oh, farm plot for P. There we go. Okay. And so we're going to hit the UM button to increase it right there, and then we're going to hit the K button to increase it to a 3x3 slot. And then we're going to go ahead and place it right there. And then we're going to hit the P button again, hit the U button to go up, hit the K button to increase it by 3. And let's do it again. Hit the P button, and we're going to hit U to go up, and then K to go across. And so up top, I hit the K button. Oops. Back out right there, hit the K button. Where's our farmer? Oh, so we're going to hit the capital F button to follow him. So we're going to unpause, and he's our only farmer. So once those plots get assigned, you're going to see him right now. We're focusing on him. He's going to come in here and start getting these farm plots ready. So I'm going to shift off away from there. But you can hit the capital F button to follow a dwarf. So we're actually going to go over to P to make a stockpile. And we're going to get a little cursor up and running. So we're going to go right here. Shift all the way down and then go across. Now this is a stockpile, so what we're going to do is we're going to set the designations for it. So we're going to go to, once that stockpile's there, we're going to hit Q, for the settings. We're going to hit S to change the settings. We're going to hit D to disable animals because we don't want animals in here, and we're going to hit E on food. And I think that's right. I think seeds are in because we only want it to have seeds or plants in. Yeah, see, there we go. One quick way to disallow it, you're going to hit B to block all. So it's still a food stockpile. That just means nothing can go in there now. So you're going to go over to seeds and hit the P button to permit seeds, and that's going to allow all the seeds to go in there. So any type of seed that your dwarf fortress gets is going to get put in there. So we're going to hit the X, we're going to X out, and you can see where it changed from animal stockpile to a food stockpile. And now we're going to go up here, and once we unpause, you're going to see all these idle dwarves start grabbing stuff out of the fort and start bringing it down there. They should be. There we go. So they're moving stuff right there, and they're going to bring all of our little bags of seeds in there and get our farm all set up. Another thing you need to do is the Q button. So the Q can set the settings for the food stockpile. Basically, Q sets the settings for anything. So we need to go to each individual farm plot, and you can see on the top right. So we're going to hit A on the bottom to go to spring, and we're going to go down to plump helmets and hit the enter button. That's going to be highlighted. Then we're going to hit B to go to summer. So go down to plump helmets, hit enter. We're going to go to C for autumn, hit enter on plump helmets, and then go to D and hit enter on plump helmets. So hit A, B, C, D, and plump helmets are going to grow on this farm plot year round. Same thing here. So we're going to go to A, hit plump helmets, B, plump helmets, C, plump helmets, D, plump helmets. And then we're going to go over here, hit A, plump helmets, B, plump helmets, C, and then D. So what's going to happen is plump helmets are only going to grow on these three farm plots year round. We're going to expand our farm in a little bit, but right now plump helmets are everything that your dwarf needs, your fort needs to survive. So we hit that going, then our farmer's going to get busy on that. One thing that you do want to be good at is managing dwarf therapist. So we're actually going to go over to our farmer and scroll over to the right, and we're going to disable pretty much all of his everyday items. And these are just stuff that every single dwarf can do. There's animal hauling, burial, food hauling, furniture hauling, item hauling. We're going to turn that all off because I want our farmer to be really good and just stay focused to what he's doing. Because, sorry about that. Sometimes what will happen is if something pops up, then your farmer will stop farming and he'll go do something else. And so we should see him going up here. Yep, there he is, grabbing seeds out of the bag, and he's planting each little seed right there. Okay, so we've got our farm up and running. Let's go ahead and scroll down. Let's build a workshop. So we're going to go to B and then W for workshop. And then we're going to go down to, let's build a carpenter's workshop. So we're going to hit C. We're going to put it right here. And then we're going to use sandstone just to build it. You can choose the different items using the plus or the minus button, but we're going to use sandstone on that one. Now, since we made our militia captain a carpenter, he's going to come and build this workshop. We're going to build another workshop right next to it. We're going to build a mason's workshop. So hit the M button. Go down to this corner, hit enter, and we're going to use, we'll use sandstone. That's the closest. We got 52, and that's all that right there. Hit enter, and then that's going to start to get built. So we'll see here in a second, we'll see the militia captain come down on the top right, and then the masons coming down there to build that. One of the first things you do need to set up, we have a farm going, we have a carpenter shop, we have a mason shop. We need to build a chair and a throne. That's what we need to do. So we're going to go to Q to the mason shop. We're going to add a new task. We're going to go down to C for throne and then go down to table. For some reason, thrones are called, basically it's just a chair. We're going to go to table for T. So now we have queued up in the mason's workshop a table and a throne. So we're going to hit the exit out, hit the pause button. We should see that mason come down here again. Once he gets back to the top, comes back down, and he's going to build. See, he's grabbing a rock, and he's going to start building that. Over to the carpenter shop, we're going to add a new task. We're going to need to build a bed. So I just hit B right there, so AB. So that's 5, 6, 7. So he's going to start building 7 beds. And then another thing that we can do is with stockpiles is our wood's up here, so our carpenter's going to have to run all the way back up top, grab the wood, walk all the way back down. So since our miners aren't doing anything right now, we're going to go and build a wood stockpile. And let's dig in right here. And this is going to be a crude little fort. Usually in the beginning, you just kind of just get stuff up and running. So we're going to have our miners dig that out, and then also have our miners. Actually, we're going to wait. Remove that designation, and we're going to build that same little stockpile. And we're not going to set the wall out. That way they build that one first. And you can see what we're going to do here in a second is once we get that out, we're going to go over to stockpiles again for P and then build a wood stockpile. And if you're looking to get into Dwarf Fortress, this video series is basically just going to be me getting a fort up and running, the bare bones necessities of what you need. There may be some stuff that I'm doing that's kind of weird. I haven't played in a long time. But for the most part, this is kind of everything you'll need to do to get a fort up and running. And then once you get this established, you can kind of figure out what you need to do from there. But he's going to carve that out. Next, let's go over to the therapist. So you can see, well, I think that square is still the same. Let's go and read the dwarfs. Oh, you can see where our this miner right here has a bigger square, so he's actually gotten a little bit better at mining, so cool. And then our mason got a little bit better. But yeah, if you ever go to a dwarf therapist, hit the read dwarfs, and that's going to refresh. Oh, there, right behind him. He just got just as good too. So they almost got that dug out. And once they get that completed, we'll go ahead and open up that other area for them to dig out. In just a second, and then we're going to make this area a wood stockpile. That way our carpenter doesn't have to walk a mile to go get some wood. Come on, dwarfs, help me out. There we go. We're going to dig that right there. And we're going to hit P for stockpile, and then we're going to hit W for wood. And then we're just going to make this whole thing a wood stockpile. And so if we have any idlers up there, what they're going to do is they're going to grab some wood. And we'll try and follow a dwarf here in a second. Okay, so we got the medical dwarf right here. Hit the K to follow, and then we're going to hit the F to follow. Hit the pause button to unfollow. So he grabbed that piece of wood, he's going down, puts it in the stockpile, and he's running back up. So you can see why we wanted to turn item hauling off for our farmer dwarf. Let's check back out on him. Because if we didn't have hauling off, then he would be tempted to go help them haul wood. So right now he's just set with growing a bunch of plump helmets for us. And we'll go over to Q, and you can see he has one bed left. He's already made all 7 beds, and our mason has already made the chair and the throne. So we're going to go to B to build and hit C for chair. We're going to place a chair over here and hit T for table and place it right there. And now if there's an idle dwarf that's not hauling wood, they're going to come over and place the push the chair and the table right there. And the reason we're doing that is I'm explaining it, but we're going to make this whole area a nice little meeting hall. I'm actually going to go to B real quick, build a wall, so we can build 2 doors right there. Hit capital C to hit wall, then hit W for wall, and we're going to build it right there out of sandstone. That way we can get 2 doors on the other side. And do we have? I don't think we have any doors queued up, so we're going to hit Q. Go over to the mason, have him queue up 3 doors, and then eventually, yeah, you can see where our manager right there has just built that little wall right there. So that's going to allow us to put doors on either side. And then once those get completed, he's still building them, we can put those doors right there, and we're going to make this area a meeting hall for our dwarves. That way they're not they're not on top of the world getting into a bunch of trouble. That's the main thing. You need to keep your dwarfs out of trouble. But I think that'll be it for the video once we get this up and running. Once he gets done. He's already made 1 door. So we're going to go to B and then hit D for door. Put it right there. And then hit B for door. And then build our other door right there. Let's move my mouse. There we go. So you can see where we're building the doors. And that's going to allow us to enclose this entire room and make it our meeting hall. And our miners are putting it right there. And I'm actually going to go ahead and let's build a dormitory since we have an extra door. Eventually you're going to want to get to a spot to where you give all of your dwarfs their own little room, but for right now that's going to work. And then we're going to actually hit B and then D for that last door that we had built. Put it right there, and then any idle dwarf is going to put it in there so we can do that. So now that this room's closed off, we're going to hit Q and go over to hit R to make a dining room. We're going to keep plussing it until it fills the entire room. It's going to stop wherever the wall's complete or there's a door. So we're going to hit enter. And now this is a dining hall. And what we're going to do is we're going to hit the H button, and you're going to see where it changed yes to a meeting hall. And that's very important because any idle dwarves will come to the meeting hall now to hang out, to drink, or to eat. and then we'll start placing those beds in here, and we'll assign in a dormitory, and then yeah, I think that'll be it for the video. So you can see those dwarves don't have anything to do. They're just going to sit here and chill. Something that we will be doing is building a stockpile for them to move all of our items down here. But while they're idling right there, we can hit B for build and hit B for bed. And we're going to hit bed right there, bed, which will go right here, and then hit B for bed and put it right there. And then we'll make this a dormitory, and then I'll show you how to do that, and then we'll be good to go. So all those idle dwarves are going to go into our carpenter shop, grab those beds, put them right there. You can see they're installing them. And we're going to go to Q, and we're going to highlight one of the beds, and we hit R, make a bedroom, and we're going to keep plussing it until it sizes out right there. And the reason it stops is because we have a door right there. So we're going to hit enter, and then we're going to go down to dormitory, and it's going to change it to yes. So basically this is going to be a communal area for our dwarves to go sleep in. You can assign rooms to certain dwarves, and they'll stay out of each other's rooms. This way, if a dwarf gets tired, they're not going to sleep on the ground, because they get mad if they sleep on the ground like any normal human would. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for the video. We're probably going to jump into like a big stockpile next time in getting a kitchen and a distillery up and running. So, alright guys, if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks guys.